Welcome to the Not Nerd Podcast. I'm Nate Heath, and we are here to help you tech better. Here with me, as always, Mr. Dave Baylor.
What in the world am I seeing there?
You're seeing my new iPhone 15 Pro Max.
Okay, I
Had to
get
give it
it.
a little screen time to
Yeah.
get things started.
Well, give us a flip it around and show us the deal and all that stuff. So it's
I mean, the
out of,
back looks very similar. The side
it's
with
made out
that
of plastic this year. Is that the deal?
titanium.
Oh, here, let me switch to your view here. Oh yeah.
My
Man.
light needs to come in there. There we go.
Okay.
USB-C.
Yeah.
Nice big screen, rounded
Yeah, you've
edges.
got
I gotta get my face out of the way so it will.
the. Hey Nate, it's good. It's good enough. I think
Yes,
everybody's.
seen the
How do
phone.
how do
Go
I
to
s-
Apple's website if you want to see the 15 Pro Max up close.
how do I say in a nice way too? It's not working.
Yeah.
Well, hello. And
Hello.
what do I see atop your head there? A different
A different
hat?
hat. Now, those that pay close attention to what I wear on my head on the show might remember back in May that I wore this hat when we got our first sunshine.
Of course.
And then I've got this hat
Oh,
as we're getting our
cloudies.
first clouds. And I am wearing the same plaid shirt that I did back in May, which I believe is my first shirt repeat. You can check me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's my first shirt repeat since we started going live.
I'm sure I've wore this one about 30 times.
Yes, but fall is here in Oregon, and I really wanted to. We have got some rain. Fall is officially here, but
Yeah.
for some of our other friends, I thought it would be good to get some other weather. So I wanted to check in with Melbourne, Australia. It is currently 60 degrees Fahrenheit in
Is it?
Melbourne.
Well,
Yes.
I wish you would have let me know earlier. I don't know if this is going to work, Nate, but I do have the weather app on my attached iPhone, and I think
Wow.
Melbourne is one of my. Oh, not on this one.
Cities.
Yeah. So while I'm bantering,
Yes.
the whole you want to do a connection with somebody in case you lose your iPhone, you can't log in. I can't remember. It's a recovery person or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
So it's been bugging me to do that for a while, and I did it. The problem being, it says, well, we're gonna log out of some older devices.
Oh, no.
And when you log them out, like you can't log back in. It was unclear, like, is it going to kick them out so it can do its thing and then you have to log them back
because
in?
they don't support.
Yeah, so now I try to log in with my Apple ID and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry. This device is no longer compatible with Apple ID." And so I kind of
Uh-oh.
legacied 4 or 5 of my old. I mean, it
Are
was like
you
an
going to have to have
iPhone
a third
6.
Apple ID now?
No, no, my legacy one will still work on there.
Yes.
But I don't like how unclear it was that once you log them out, you wouldn't be able to log back in. I think I read some stuff about it, and it's not that
Yeah.
big a deal. But now I have an iPad Mini, my like iPad Mini 3, which is running iOS 12 or something, I think.
Oof.
It's sitting there going, "Oh, hey, enter the password for Apple ID," and then you try to do it, and then it's like, "Oh, this is not supported." But yet it keeps bugging me. So I don't know. I don't know how I'm
Lovely.
going to get out of that loop.
Lovely.
But
I
what I
will
was, yeah, go ahead.
jump quickly back to my hats. These
Oh,
are two of my vast collections of hats from Draplin Design Company, Aaron Draplin here in Portland. So
mm-hmm.
the clouds, we went from the sun to the, maybe that'll be my first day of sun and first day of rain every year.
Yeah.
Or first show of sun, first show of rain.
Well, let's see
I'll
if this
bust these
works
two
here,
out.
Nate. So, oh boy, of course it's not going to work.
Oh boy.
But I mean, it should work. I mean, you can see
Yeah. I can see
my
your
phone.
phone layout there.
I wondered if it's
I
unplugged.
see your face in your phone. Are you just trying to be like I was at the beginning of the show?
Okay, I think I know what happened is I inadvertently unplugged it. Now this is probably going to crash OBS. Let's
Nice.
hope that it doesn't. But I'm leaving it on this view for you at home who want to see my head. Oh, yeah. So that's another thing. If you're not watching online, YouTube live, you dirty. I tell you, USB-A just doesn't.
This
Okay,
is
I think we're
this makes
back.
for great podcast.
Yeah, and I'm for anybody who was watching online, you probably were like, "Oh no, the government has shut them down for those Draplin hats." But
Yes.
no, it was just me.
Controversial Draplin hats.
Yeah, it
And
was.
I had to refresh
There we
my
go.
page in
Cheer,
the
there we go.
live
Finally.
the live chat is back up, and producer Todd
Yeah,
let us know that looks and sounds good. It did.
until it
But he said it always seems to drop the first 20 or 30 seconds, so he doesn't hear the intro music. But maybe that's just,
hmm,
I think that must just be live. And Todd let us know that we are back.
okay.
So I think maybe it did disconnect the live there. So
Well, but I think on the
don't
playback,
plug in devices.
well, on the playback, now people are going to be going, there was no gap for me because I think it
Yeah.
stitches it together. Regardless, for those of you participating at home right now, you can see it is a balmy 60 degrees in Melbourne, and it looks like sunny skies
Which
all
I believe I
day.
said that about 15 minutes ago,
You
but
did, but
now we can
if
visualize.
people can't believe what you say, then
Yes,
they're going to have
now
to
you've
see.
got proof.
Yeah,
Yes.
we
So,
don't want any alternative facts out there running around. So,
okay. Well, before you decide to change any more of our technology, maybe we should get into some follow up.
well, I think that's a great idea.
Well, and the audio is going buggy on my side.
Oh, well.
Don't touch anything. Well, first of all, back to my new phone. I went
Yes.
and picked it up at the Apple Store Friday. The pickup process, my window was 8:15 to 8:30. I showed up at 8 right when they opened. I was in and out of there in 10 minutes. It is the black titanium. It's kind of hard to tell there with the light. It looks a lot lighter. Um, my initial, 48, 55-hour impressions on this thing. This is the max size. I had the regular pro size last year. The new rounded corners and the lighter weight with the titanium
Yeah.
feels so nice.
Nice.
Um, I don't really notice anything with, like the faster processor or anything like that. I've done a little testing with the camera. I haven't had a chance to do much. But everything that I'm watching and reading, and I don't know if you're hearing the same thing, Dave, is that it really the lenses are about the same, but what they're doing now with the processor, they added some little chip in there to help with the image stuff.
Okay.
Um, it is, everybody's just saying that it is taking really nice pictures. Plus, now the takes 20 with the main lens takes 24 megapixel photos instead of the 12 megapixels.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing a bunch of their HDR new version of that, all that stuff. But am going to work on doing some more photo stuff and some testing. I played around with it just a bit. But of course, now with the rain,
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't make it fun.
Well,
But I will get some photos posted.
I heard on a podcast today a guy reviewing it, and he said, the 5x zoom on that third lens is cool, but what he really liked was the 10x. And yes, your ears are hearing you correctly. There's not a 10x lens on there, but it does a digital zoom from 5x to 10x. And
Yeah,
he was super impressed by how sharp and clear it was. And
it
keep in
stayed
mind,
at the 10.
yeah, it's not the same as taking a 5x picture and then zooming in. That'll look like garbage. But if you do a 5x picture and then do the digital zoom, then take the photo, that's going to be better than the crop. So they're doing some type of mojo in there that
Yeah,
that does better than just a crop tool would do. It's because
yes,
the phone is anticipating that that's the photo you're taking, so it does a bunch of magic stuff through their algorithm to make sure that that 10x digital zoom is the best it can be. So I'm
yeah.
excited to try that out.
Yeah, no, and I saw Stallman, who he's a amazing videographer and does amazing work. He did some
Mm-hmm.
testing with his phone and of the action mode for video,
Yeah.
and he did the 5x zoom and then the action mode. And what he did is he did screen recording so you could see how
Oh yeah, yeah.
jolty he was,
I saw that
and
one.
then he showed the final product and it looked perfectly smooth. And I did actually do that a test with that on my new phone, and a lot of that is the new 3D image stabilization that they're doing,
Mm.
where it really, when you're zoomed that far in, any little movement's going to make a big
It
difference.
magnifies it.
Um, but it stabilizes front, back, up, down, left, right, to try to keep that in the action mode. On top of that, it's doing a bunch of software. But so far, I am loving this phone. There, of course, we always have all the gates. There's a bend gate where some guy took it and as hard as he could, he bent it like this and it broke. There's people saying,
That'll happen to a
um,
car if you
yeah,
bend it.
if you bend it hard enough.
Yeah.
Uh, and then they're saying it's getting really hot. I've noticed mine get a little warm, but not too bad.
Well, I wanted to mention also on the camera. What was my point? You just made it fly right out of my brain. Oh, on my list of things that are going to be new to me from the 13 upgrade, one of them is that super duper image stabilization stuff.
Yeah.
I forgot to add that to the list last week, so that's another thing that's going to be new to non i14 phone
Yes,
users.
and for some reason it seems like your audio to me keeps getting higher and then it goes lower, like it clicks.
Hmm.
I don't know if that's happening
Okay.
for the rest of the world as well.
Well, I can take off my dang it, my compressor,
There you go. You're
maybe.
dang it.
Yeah.
But
At the
yes,
risk of crashing the entire world. But yes, go
uh,
on.
I trying to think. I mean, if there's anything else, really the camera stuff is the big. Oh, the action button.
Yeah.
I've got that set. Uh, just hold down the action button and it goes
Mm,
into the camera app. Um, one of the things I've noticed, especially with the Max phone, is it is taller than my old phone.
mm-hmm.
Shocker. The volume buttons and then the action buttons on top of it, that is a lengthy reach to get up
It
there. I
is.
wish they had the action button under the
I
volume
know.
buttons. There's no reason to jam everything up to the very top there.
Yeah, I think they did it so that they like to do things in increments. So it's like, oh, it was like this last year, so let's make it exactly the same. And then in subsequent ones, we're going to move it down because we don't want to do
Yeah.
too many changes at the same time because people are too stupid to figure it out. And I've seen that with other of their devices. It's like, oh, they make the small change and then the next year they move the thing. It's like, well, why didn't they just? It's all
Yes.
calculated. They plan like phones ahead. So,
Yes, and Dr. RIP VHS asked if it has the dynamic island, which yes, it does. You can see just put the little lock animation there. All of the iPhone 15s, even the non-pros, have the dynamic island this year. And it is really nice. I think I've mentioned recently that more and more apps keep adding stuff to that.
hmm,
And you can do different things. It just shows a lock symbol
I'm very
now, but
excited to try that out.
yes, it is. It is nice. So if I'm, playing a podcast, it'll have the little player up there with the little music sounds.
Hmm.
I really enjoy the dynamic island. So thank you for that question, Todd. Anything else any questions you have, Dave? I know you've got one on the way.
Mine is, yeah. So if I were to check my status, I'm going to get a really sad note here from Apple. They're going to say, what are they going to say to me here? I thought I could bring it up quickly. Here's order will be available soon. Order
Ooh, order in
order
progress.
in progress. So that shipped and delivered. See how far away that is? Like,
October 9th through 16th.
yeah. So it's a long ways off. I mean, what? It's a week or so, but
Yes.
and my this phone, I bought it like in December 2 years ago, so
Oh, yeah.
I don't have it day day and date that it comes out. It's fine.
Yes,
I'll
yes.
squeeze a little more use out of it.
Well, I want to talk about the new phones. That's follow up. But Something else I thought about, our whole episode last week was hacking Las Vegas, and we were talking about the story
Mm-hmm.
with the MGM casinos, which I have seen that they are back up and running now. But I did find it interesting that it was like, what, a mere month after DefCon and BlackHat happened in Las Vegas that a large casino gets hacked. So, what are the chances that somebody that was at least around DefCon and
Mm-hmm.
BlackHat, the big hacker conferences, noticed something at MGM and caused horrible problems for
They
their entire system?
they probably just plugged a USB drive into some computer and walked away, and that was all it took.
Yes, yes. Another piece of follow up that I thought about as soon as we stopped recording last week, that my pick of the week, the cold brew coffee maker, our ABCs, always be caffeinated or
Okay.
always be caffeinating. Those are important things. So add that to the list of our ABCs.
Yes.
And on your pick with your car mount, I said that I would talk about the seatbelt and distracted driving class that I got to
Yes.
go to.
That was a little
Um,
ominous, but
a
yes.
little ominous. I was accused of not wearing my seatbelt while driving,
Mm.
and got a ticket, and so I had the option of going to this class to get that wiped off my record, which I did.
Okay.
But on the distracted driving side of things, I mean, basically, they gave you a couple statistics on seatbelts, and it's like, wear your seatbelt. It helps. But we did talk a lot about different distracted driving stuff. And um, I didn't fully understand the Oregon law, and it changed in 2017, I think, to which there was a much older lady in the class, and she was like, how do we learn these laws? I got my driver's license 50 years, 60 years ago. Some of the laws have changed.
Yeah.
And of course, you're just supposed to be, um, you're
You're just
supposed
supposed to
to
know.
keep up on it.
Right.
But the Oregon state law, and it's different in every state. We covered Oregon and Washington, that you have to be hands free, which always cracks me up when you see people, they're holding their phone and they're talking on speakerphone like this, like
Mm-hmm.
that's more legal than
Yeah.
holding it up to your ear.
Yeah, I'm not
Uh,
I don't have it. Yeah, it's a very dumb I thought process people go through.
yes, yes, but that older lady, she got her ticket. Her cell phone was on her leg. That counts as interact, or
How did they
it's actually,
see her?
I don't know that. We didn't. If everybody would have gotten to tell their full stories like they want to, we would have been there for about eight
Yeah.
hours.
Mm.
But you need to have it hands free. It's the act of holding it that is the big violation. And the way it works, your first one, you get a fine, but it stacks up over 10 years. And if you get three within 10 years, you can like go to jail for it.
Okay.
It
So
is an interesting law. So,
so I have something to say about this. I'm in my car and I say, "Hey Dingus, uh, play Tom Petty," and she plays the Beatles because she's an idiot. And it's going, and the little Siri thing stays on,
won't go
and the
away.
thing at the top stays on, and the map I was looking at is kind of behind a dark screen, and I either have to do something stupid, like say, "Hey Siri, goodbye," which I don't want to say that after I already
Yes.
gave her a command, or I can reach out and touch the screen to dismiss it. One, I don't know why it doesn't disappear after a few seconds. It used to do that. They took away that functionality. Um, is my question that's relevant to this. If I reach out and tap it to dismiss the Siri, is that a violation? Did I just
That,
go to jail?
no. Technically, you're supposed to be able to. I and I was looking. I'm trying to look at the law, and Todd chimed in with they see me rolling, they
Yep.
hating. So the law says it is illegal to drive while holding and using a mobile electronic device while driving,
Sorry,
cell phone,
I was trying to mute my drink and I hit the wrong button. My mistake. Sorry.
cell phone, tablet, GPS, laptop. There are some exceptions, but for the most part, it's best to just turn off your device when you're driving,
Their
according
exception.
to Oregon.gov.
If you're a law enforcement officer, you can be driving while holding a cell phone and tipping, or
Oh,
typing
that came up in the
on your
class.
computer and driving with your knee. That's
That
okay though.
that came up in the class, and
Well, they're
they
exempt.
are exempt
Yes, of
from
course
that.
they are.
So here is the bullet point that you are looking at. Use of a single touch or swipe to activate or deactivate the device is
Mm,
an exception.
okay. Okay. So I still wish that Apple would program it to just dismiss after like 15 seconds,
Well,
maybe,
there's that.
and then I would never have to touch it at all. It would just be hands-free the whole trip. But no, there's always one little sneaky thing that they don't have perfect, and I guess it's to keep you coming back for the updates. So
Yes,
maybe next
yes.
year.
And if you're under 18, you cannot even use hands-free devices.
Hmm.
You shouldn't be using, Bluetooth or anything on there. And one of the interesting things, I don't remember the specifics for the state of Washington, but in Washington, if they pull you over for a violation, they can do add-ons if you have food or drinks.
Mm.
It's an extra $99 fine
Just because I
if
had a
you have a
beer? What the heck?
or coffee.
Oh, oh,
Jeez, or some beef
hold
jerky.
on a
So
second. So if I'm taking a drink of Coke Zero here, that's I could get pulled over?
if you have an open Coke Zero near you in Washington, you can get a $99 fine if they decide.
Dang, son.
So, all of this to be said, in your local jurisdiction, I meant to look it up for Melbourne for Eliot down there, but look at those distracted driving laws to make sure that you are aware at least of what they are.
And it's handy to
Because,
change them every few years to keep you on your
yeah,
toes.
yeah, yes, exactly. So,
I still don't
look,
know the one about people crossing. So there was a 4-lane road today that was crossing my road. I'm in the rightmost lane of my lane, and there was a pedestrian. His light changed. He started walking across and got halfway to the median point in the center, and I'm always like, do I have to wait till he's clear across 4 lanes or just the 2 lanes closest to me? Did that come up in class?
that did not, but the thing that I've heard is that they have to be, it's something like 6 feet past the crosswalk, but I don't know when you have a median on
Oh my
that. That
gosh.
would be a different podcast. We'll have to start our traffic laws podcast.
Maybe Leo needs to make the This Week in Pedestrian Crossing
Yes,
podcast and we can subscribe
exactly.
to it.
Exactly. And another piece of follow-up, I've been meaning to bring this up because I realized with help from Elliot, speaking of Elliot, on our 400th Quadcenticast, our 400th
Hmm.
episode, he sent in a video, and we had said beforehand that all videos must be shot horizontal.
Okay.
Elliot was actually horizontal in his video. He is the only one that followed the directions literally because he was sideways. His phone was horizontal, but he was also horizontal. So kudos to Elliot for truly following the directions in a way that only Elliot could by going sideways. I should have had you pull that video up again, but you can go
Yeah.
back to the Quad Centicast
Yeah, I don't want to
and
do
check it
that or
out.
else
No,
something will
no,
crash.
please don't. Please don't. And one last piece of follow up. We talked, I think, at the Apple event, how they were getting rid of the leather and they've replaced it with
Yes.
these nice fine woven iPhone cases, which I did
Really?
briefly
Are
look
they
at.
fine woven? Are
Yes.
they nice?
From The Verge, the new fine woven iPhone cases are very bad. And I looked at them. They look nice, but apparently they pick up any scratch, anything, and they're still 59 bucks, the same price as leather,
Did you
which
see this at the store or what?
I did not see the scratching at the store. I've just heard a lot of
But
people
but I
talking
mean,
about not being.
you physically touched them and played with
I
them.
physically touched a fine woven case.
And I can't believe nobody's commenting on the wonderful inset video that
Yes.
we have here on the.
Producer Todd, we have updated to circles on top of the web pages when we're showing. Again, if you're still listening to the podcast, get yourself over to YouTube and start watching it because it is the work Dave puts in
Mm,
hours.
tens of minutes per week are devoted to crashing our screen.
Crashing the podcast. But you know what Dave is devoted to? Dave's pro tip of the week.
Hey, did the sound any better for you? I did a little magic on my end, but it
Yeah,
probably didn't.
yes.
So this week's tip, I can't show you on my aging iPhone 7 that's tethered to the computer, and I don't want to tether another device, and so we're just going to do the old hold the hold the phone up to the screen. So this week's tip is titled "Zoom to Crop." You might have heard, was it Hanson that had that song, Zoom to Crop? Do 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 do, Zoom to Crop. Do do do
Pretty
do. Am I
close.
right? Is that it? Oh,
Yeah, I think that's it.
that was Mbop. I'm confusing them.
Oh,
But in this particular scenario, if you have a device that can be upgraded to iOS 17, and look at that beautiful photo
mm,
that I found on the internet and downloaded. Um, you can, you can zoom in and out of your photos all day long, but what's new on iOS 17, if you zoom, you'll notice a crop button appear up here. And if you tap that, you go right into edit mode. It
oh,
crops the photo, matching the zoom that you were in on, and then you can you can change all the other settings for the cropping. You can do whatever, but it's like a quick access to the crop mode. And then when you're done, you just hit done. And so why is this useful? Because ordinarily you would have had to click on the photo, click on the edit button, click on the crop button. Now you just can just pinch to zoom, hit the button, and you're there. So Apple is making it easier and easier for people to edit photos on their phone. And I'll go back later and fix that photo because I did not want to crop it crooked like I did. So
yes, yeah. No, that is a nice,
quick
nice
crop.
feature because it is a lot of steps. And if you're already there and you're zooming in to see it, and it's like, oh, yeah, I want it to look like this. Crop.
Yeah, after I cropped it and tilted it, now it looks like a photo I would have taken. So
Yes,
I'm going to
yes.
revert it
And
though.
hey, that's another one for the ABCs. Always be cropping. Please, people, crop your photos a little bit. Get
I
the
mean, maybe, unless you're like really good. But I would say ABS, always be straightening. How could we do
yes.
C? Always be crop to straighten. Because I
Yes.
do see a lot of photos that are just a little like this, and it's like, it's
Always be
pretty easy.
correcting.
Yeah, there you go. There's another. Why don't I do this as a bonus tip? Because this podcast is
Ooh,
already going to be 5 hours long. It's taken us 30 minutes to get through the
follow
follow
up.
up. So you'll notice on the viewfinder
Oh
now,
yeah.
there is a horizontal line that appears. And look, it shows, oh, I got a message for a security thing. Um, see, now it's level. It's turned yellow. And when
Yeah.
I'm off kilter, it kind of gives you an indication. So now you can even get straight photos before you take them. You don't even have to go into crop to straighten. So that's
Yes,
bonus
yes,
tip.
it is nice to have that guide.
Hmm.
Thank you very much. And it's now time for everybody's favorite segment, just the headlines. Those are delayed, it feels
Okay,
like.
well, that's okay because we're going to.
Ooh, there's that rain. Spoiler alert with my cloud hat. The rain is real out there, and the leaves are quickly falling this fall. Okay, just the headlines. The NYPD is deploying a 420-pound robocop to roam Times Square's subway station. The U.S. military asked for help to find missing F-35 fighter jet after mishap sees pilot ejects. Yelp has a wall of shame for businesses caught paying for fake reviews. Internet connected chastity cage reportedly leaks detailed private info about users. Woman rescued from outhouse toilet after climbing in to retrieve Apple Watch, Michigan police say. And related, Clorox products in short supply after cyber attack.
I don't. What? Anyway, I guess you're going to have to watch it yourself by clicking the link and reading the headline on just the headlines. Weird. So, yeah, that last one. Okay.
Yeah, yes,
Clorox and cyber attacks.
yeah.
You
Hey,
do the
those
math,
cyber attacks were affecting your bleach supply.
I guess.
Uh, oh, producer Todd has chimed in. He said, now you're like my favorite movie reaction channel. Ooh, fall vibes on the driveway cam. And he said that he cannot hear the sounders or Dave. Oh, there he is
What?
again.
Oh, Todd. Sometimes I think I'm, well, you're the producer. I don't want to
Yeah,
hurt your feelings. But last time I listened back and everything sounded fine. So I'm not quite sure what's happening.
we'll cross our fingers
Yeah.
and move on to our takes of the week.
Yes, we will.
Do, do, do.
Yeah, they are
And
delayed. They are delayed, but oh well.
so now that Apple got their event out of the way, Amazon and Microsoft both had fall events this week. And first up, we'll take a look at Amazon. And I think it was on This Week in Tech with Leo Laporte. They're basically like, who cares about the new products from Amazon? They just keep, it's like the same products, a little bit better. Did you follow this at all, Dave, and
I
see
heard
anything that you're a big Amazon product fan?
I am. I haven't had a chance to get through all of my YouTube watching. So there's some videos probably that are like the Amazon event in 2 minutes type thing that I'm going to watch. But um, I have not seen the new products, um, but I did hear some people talking about them on a podcast. So, you know,
Yes.
whatevs. But
Yeah.
I'm eager to find out. I mean, I think it's all the same stuff, just newer, a little bit faster, a little bit better, but like nothing revolutionary.
Yes, they are doing an upgraded AI-powered Alexa. So,
Hmm.
as you could have guessed, they're powering Alexa with generative AI with a new large language model that's been custom built and specifically optimized for voice interactions and the things we know our customers love, getting real-time information, efficient smart home control, and maximizing their home entertainment.
Wow.
So that's coming soon. They've got more Alexa features. They updated their Echo frames, which does anyone on Earth own those?
No.
It's basically glasses that have Alexa built into them, so you can talk to your
And it
glasses.
tethers, it gets the data from your phone. And so, I mean, it's just like there's no difference of having headphones. They're basically headphones jammed into
Yes,
glasses.
yes,
If they were
yes.
autonomous and ran off a cellular, that might be something, but I don't know.
Even then, yeah. They've got a new Echo Show 8, which is their larger display uh, Alexa device it's made for even better video calls. Has anybody ever done a video call on these things? That's just what I wonder. Yes, they've given some new name to this weather storm that we're getting right now. They've got to
El
have a
Nino?
new term. No, it's some bomb
Mm,
shower, hurricane. I don't know what they're
weather
calling it. I
bomb.
was weather bomb
Yeah,
of
so
rain.
I brought up the web and it's like, okay, the Echo Show, same. Echo Kids or Fire Tablet Kids, same. The deal hanging on the wall, I'm not sure what that is. Alexa Echoes, the camera system,
Yes.
Barbie thing. or Disney
That thing on
Princess.
the wall is the Echo Hub,
Oh, I see.
a wall-mountable smart home control panel powered by Alexa with an 8-inch screen and customizable dashboard for all your smart home devices. Again, I just don't.
Hmm.
Amazon's trying hard, but I mean, I've got an iPhone and I can just do everything on my iPhone. They do have the new Eero Max 7, which is one of their mesh Wi Fi systems that
Mm-hmm.
has Wi Fi 7 built in. But I don't know that there's a single device out there with Wi Fi 7 on it. We
I
just
just
got,
got 5. What? Now we're
yeah,
on 7. Man.
yeah, the iPhone 15 has 6. I think there was 6E, but now it's 7, and so I guess it's
Hmm.
future proof. But
Yeah.
it does say the 2 and 3 packs of the mesh Wi-Fi devices start at $599.99. So
Wowzers.
it says it's now possible to download a 4K movie in 10 seconds or a 50 gigabyte video game in less than a minute.
Hmm.
If the stars align. Uh,
I
they've
mean,
got
that's
some new,
impressive.
yeah, they've got some new Fire TV sticks. Some new home security stuff. But yeah, if you're really into the Amazon, I think Dave, you've even kind of moved away now that you have your HomePod minis and stuff from the
Hmm.
Amazon stuff,
Well,
besides your Kindle collection.
yeah, true. I mean, I have both hooked up still out in my living room, and so this is a very common thing. I will say, Siri, play I Want to Hold Your Hand by the Beatles, and she'll be like, playing Josh Groban's whatever, and I'm like, son of a. And so then I say, Alexa, play the same thing, and she does it. And I'm just like, they're both hooked to Apple Music. Like, what's anyway? The same
Yeah.
source. Oh, actually, the other day it was, I cannot find this particular song, and I'm like, look, I just added it to my library last week. I know it's there. So Alexa actually would play the Apple Music song, and Siri wouldn't. It was really weird. But yes, I am trying to get, and now all my devices are turning on. I'm trying to get into the habit of using Apple devices more and kind of setting the Amazon ones aside.
I'm wondering if you have a uh, drunk filter that you keep clicking on and off because every like minute or so, it like there's a little clicking sound and then your voice sounds
Hmm,
much slower and then it goes back. But I don't know.
weird. Well, I'm
Yes,
not
fun
trying to do
stuff.
that, but maybe I do have a drunk filter turned on.
Yes, and something that I forgot to put in the show notes, but I will add in there before we publish that something they didn't announce with all their new products. I don't believe it was during this, it was after that coming next year, that Amazon Prime Video that you get with your Prime subscription and they've got shows and stuff to watch.
Mm-hmm.
If you want that to be ad free, you'll be paying an additional $3 a month for Amazon Prime Video to be ad free. So
Yeah,
I
that did not make me happy.
no, I this whole I mean everybody's been raising their prices and I mean $3 a month. I don't watch much on Prime Video, but I will probably watch even less because I don't want to pay that
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to watch ads. But come on.
It's a travesty. And they keep raising the price of Amazon Prime proper. So
Yes.
this is like a tax for the video section on top already increase in your Prime tax.
Yeah. I don't know what well, they're thinking about making more money. That's what they're
Mm-hmm.
thinking. The Microsoft Surface event that
Mm-hmm.
happened this last week. Now they introduced some new Surface products, the Laptop Studio, the Laptop Go. But more importantly, they talked more about their AI integrations and Windows 11's next update comes with Copilot and more. Now, Copilot is it's the new Clippy that's a little more helpful than Clippy was.
That's what we
Um,
needed.
the update will be jam-packed with new features, including the new AI-powered Windows Copilot that Microsoft's been testing, along with a redesigned File Explorer and native
Mm.
support for RAR and 7-zip compressed files, which welcome to 2002.
Mm-hmm.
But this Copilot, they're really betting on this, and Copilot will be working over all their services and apps, where you can just kind of similar to ChatGPT, because part of it's using ChatGPT. You can, if you're in Microsoft Word, write me a paragraph about minimalistic architecture, is what
Mm.
the picture there says. Um, but Bing Chat is getting DALL-E 3, the image stuff, which I've seen. Uh, OpenAI, which makes ChatGPT, they also have the DALL-E image generation that we've talked about before. They're working to fuse those two together, so ChatGPT will be able to use DALL-E 3, so you can like create text and images together. I mean, this stuff's moving
So now
moving
they're
fast.
breeding two AIs together. Um, yeah,
And
I'm still
I don't
there,
know if
Nate.
I got lost or
So
Dave
what
got
happened?
lost. It's this
Nate
rainstorm.
thinks that everything is crashed, but it has not.
Let's
Um,
see.
he's looking frantically
I am frozen
to and
up, but
from,
I'm going to keep talking
and
a little bit just in
everybody
case
online
somebody
can
can
hear him
still
talking,
hear
and we're
me.
probably talking over each other. That's the funny part.
And hopefully Dave will come
But
back
I
at some
assure you,
point.
Nate, all is still there. Um,
Hello.
hey,
Is
Nate.
anybody out there?
So
Hey.
you were there the whole time.
Oh, good, good.
I was talking over you, so the people probably heard both of us talking.
Nice,
But
nice.
so what happened
Oh
is my
man.
web browser just crashed out of the blue for no apparent reason.
I'm
And
blaming the rainstorm.
yeah, you looked out the
It has
window
come
like, was
down.
there a lightning or something?
No, I was just looking because I could hear the rain
Mm.
coming down out there. It
I
is
want to,
really coming down, so we'll blame that.
yeah, I want to know, have you ever heard the rain? Or is it
I
seen the rain?
have.
Maybe it's a
Have
seen
you
the
ever
rain.
seen the rain?
I see, yeah.
Thank you. Credence.
So what else we
Ah,
have going on for our takes on this 45-hour podcast?
45-hour podcast. So yeah,
Yeah.
Microsoft and Amazon have stuff now. The interesting thing, they both had an event this week. There's a guy, Panos Panay, who for the last several years at Microsoft has kind of been their keynote, trying to channel Steve Jobs, passionate about Microsoft and its products
Mm-hmm.
guy. He's
Yeah.
leaving Microsoft and going to Amazon. So,
Nice.
yeah, I thought that was interesting. And Amazon could use a little more guidance. He's a hardware guy. And maybe Amazon can be a little more focused instead of just throwing every product they can at the wall and seeing what sticks.
This guy kind of, from at first glance, looks like a Tyler about 20 years into the future.
Yeah, yes, that is
So
true.
um,
And
maybe
when I
we're
saw that picture of Panos Panay, I realized that he has aged about 20 years in the last 5 years. It feels like since he
probably.
started doing the Microsoft product
Oh,
announcements.
stupid ads thing. So sorry. Yeah. So
Yes.
anyway, we get this. We can at least, thank you, Bloomberg, see the uh, title and the picture, and that's about it. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. Oh, they want you to give them money.
Yeah, they do.
Oh man. A local story just down I-5 in Salem, Oregon. Agility Robotics is opening a humanoid robot factory, beating Tesla to the punch.
So tell me about
So,
this. I have not heard about this humanoid robot factory.
yeah, so Agility Robotics is opening a first of its kind factory in Salem, Oregon, where it will mass produce a line of humanoid robots called Digit. So they're dubbing it the RoboFab, which will produce up to 10,000 units a year. So
Hmm.
we need to, we're going to have 10,000 humanoid robots just down the road. So watch that
Wowzers.
takeover of I-5 as they take over the world. But it's a robotic coworker, so kind of the sounds like the what will help you in a factory. Ooh,
I
as
know.
I'm watching the live stream, Dave is
I'm
floating
flying
in a
around.
circle.
I just,
But
I
yeah,
just, I decided that the position that I had in my inset was just a little covering the text too much. So I don't know if you
Yes.
notice this. Most websites just have garbage along the right-hand side.
Oh, yeah,
So
that
we'll
is
go over in
true.
the garbage section
The
where we belong.
sidebar.
Yeah.
Yes. So Shelton told CNBC that his team developed Digit with a human form factor so the robots can lift, sort, and maneuver while staying balanced, and so they could operate in environments where steps or other structures could otherwise limit the use of robotics, like that 420-pound blob of a robot in New York for
Mm-hmm.
from just the headlines. Like we've watched the videos from Boston Dynamics and some of this stuff. So maybe we'll have to see once they get open up if we can go down for a tour and do
That'd be
a
cool.
not nerd segment at Agility Robotics.
You think they'd let
Note to
us?
self.
Yeah, this thing is kind of they make you might be saying, well, why don't they create environments where you you don't even need a humanoid robot. You just make a factory that doesn't have stairs and all this stuff. Well, I think they try that sometimes, but people still have to service these robots. Sometimes the
Yeah.
robots break, and many people cannot afford to completely retool their entire factory just for robots, and so they need to integrate with places that are already existing. So it's an
Yes.
interesting concept for sure.
Yes. And I actually Amazon, I saw a link that you can do Amazon warehouse tours. And
Hmm.
so I went on there to see if, because we have a warehouse just down the road from us, but it was not one of the ones that's on the tour because I would just find it fascinating to
Pleased
get
as
a tour.
punch is what you would be.
Yes, yes, to go. And they use large robots that almost look like shelving where that are moving around in
Hmm.
those. But I'm going to keep checking that site because that would be really fun. There was nothing even close to us here in Oregon, but to go see a tour of their warehouse and just the scale of the logistics and the fact that they can get me stuff in 2 hours,
I know it's
that you
amazing.
could find it in the warehouse, get it packaged, give it to somebody, and get it to my house,
Hmm.
just blows my mind. So maybe we'll have to do a road trip to the nearest one, wherever that is, and get an Amazon warehouse tour.
Well,
Ah,
this next headline really kind of breaks my heart.
I, me as well. T-Mobile reportedly suffers from its third major data breach in 12 months. And
So
so
this
it does
is,
say update T-Mobile retailer.
yeah.
So it doesn't affect T-Mobile. So the update on this article, new information suggests the data breach doesn't affect T-Mobile itself, but an independent T-Mobile retailer called Connectivity Source. The data from the leak is related to an independently owned authorized retailer, T-Mobile told 9 to 5 Mac. T-Mobile's employee data was not exposed. So
Well, we're not worried about
community,
employee data. We're worried about customer data. Don't they have all the
well,
customer data?
it was only employee data that was
Hmm,
leaked in this one. So
I see.
not as bad, but
What's with this picture?
Connectivity Source is one of the company's largest authorized retailers and operates in 38 states across the U.S. Around 146,109 audio recordings of customers calling stores were also collected by the hacker,
Hmm.
claims VX Underground. But yeah, stole this stolen database. But yeah, T-Mobile. At least it wasn't T-Mobile this time, but T-Mobile has had two this year, and I still love T-Mobile. But
Hmm.
man,
I
but
know it's getting out of hand.
I've just resorted to the fact that like any of my payment information or social security, that stuff has been leaked so many stinking times. What value is it anymore? I
Well,
just,
they can sell it to people who don't know that it's available elsewhere, I guess. I'm not
yeah,
sure. I don't know.
yeah. It is. It is a bummer. I The security and privacy stories, man, they don't stop, and I don't even share them all because I'm just like I can't. We would do an hour and a half of just security and privacy stories each week,
Mm-hmm.
but that is why we have our bonus odd take to cleanse our palate and turn back towards the positive. And this is one you found,
Mm-hmm.
Dave, that I found fascinating. It's the Eggcorn database version 0.5.
Yes. The Eggcorn is apparently something that's a word that you or a phrase that you mispronounce, like acorn. Eggcorn makes sense because it kind of looks like an egg, and seeds
Yeah,
are kind of like eggs, and so a lot of people attribute it to Eggcorn, or it's a conflation of two separate, the like an egg and an acorn. What was the other one? Egg. Anyway, so it's well, let's just look at the website, and I think it'll give
yes.
us a little more insight here. So, can you read that there? I can't. It says
Yes. So the
this.
first one is hurtle with a T and hurdle. And so spotted in the wild, what they do is they document people that use the wrong words. And that's a bad one. Let's go down to Nell and nail,
Oh
chiefly
yes.
in death nail, where it should be death knell.
This
So
is the one
gr-
where it's two things together. The nail in the coffin is like the final nail in the coffin, and the death nail, which is a ringing of a bell, and so people conflate those two. Death nail. See how this
yes.
works? Yeah.
Yes, nail and knell, Knell.
Right.
The next one is ad, gets switched to at for ad hominem, ad infinitum, ad
Mm,
nauseum. People use at hominem, at infinitum, at nauseum. And
mm.
so
That's just
people
lazy
just,
English.
yes, teaming and team. And they've got, it says at the top, there are 648 Eggcorns in the database, and they have examples and quotes in the wild where people use this stuff. So for all you word and English language fans
Hmm.
out there,
I
you
used
can
to listen to the
enjoy this.
Grammar Girl podcast who would
Oh, yeah,
talk
I
about some
remember
of these
that one.
things. Yeah.
Yes.
All these podcasts started getting 500 ads, so I stopped listening to them.
Yes, that's, those ads will
First
be
of
the
all,
death nail of them all.
no, the death null, null,
No.
knell, death knell,
Yes.
knell, like Nell Carter.
There's a good one. Lease to leash. New leash on life
Who
instead of
says
new lease
that?
on life.
Who says that?
I'll tell you who said it. Andrew Sullivan on the Daily Dish in 2007. He said, but it could give the neocons a new leash on life, a way to invigorate their exhausted ideological engines. Where and that's part of these is it sounds like it should be right,
Hmm.
but that this is a good plug for previous pick of the week Grammarly, which will help you straighten out your eggcorns.
Yeah,
uh, I
just
use Grammarly constantly. It is so helpful to correct English.
hmm. And an update from outside. We've been going so long. Oh, that's the wrong one. We've been going so.
Yes, yes. Long into the night. We are podcasting tonight, which means we should get to our picks of the week. And I have to let the listeners know Dave texted me earlier and said he had a surprise for his pick of the week.
Hmm.
And in the show notes, he put super secret pick. So I am intrigued. Dave, please reveal your surprise that is been a 3-second surprise for the listeners, but a
Yeah,
all day
yeah,
suspenseful journey for me.
right. Well, I was thinking that maybe there. I was just like, should I make a purchase? Should I go online? What
Oh,
should I
what's
do?
that on your
Oh,
wrist,
what's this on my
Dave?
wrist? I've been
I was
accidentally
looking
showing.
behind you on your amazing shelves, but
I've been accidentally showing you this all
oh,
evening.
congratulations.
So I went on Craigslist,
Yeah.
and this is not a new Apple Watch Series 2 because I'm a to be an Eggcorn. I'm a cheapskate, or
Cheapskate. Yes.
cheapskate.
No, you are you looked at the holistic
Oh, I
cost.
did. Yes, I did. Anyway, I met up with this deaf Russian mafia guy online.
Deaf as in couldn't hear, or
Couldn't hear.
deaf as in he was deaf like a rapper with street cred?
Well, both.
Yes.
He was a non-hearing individual, and I'm pretty sure he's Russian. And I don't know that he's part of the mafia, but it seems kind of cool if I say that. Met him at a Shell gas station. He is in a nice car, popped it open, did this. I started to talk to him, and he said, "I'm deaf," and I was like, "Oh, cool." So anyway,
Seems like something he would mention before you met up.
I know it's like
Like bring pen and paper, or do you know sign language?
maybe he
But hey,
doesn't want to talk to people.
yes,
It
well,
was clear that
yeah, you just didn't want to talk.
yeah. No, I was asking him some questions from behind him, and then he turned around and said, "I'm deaf." So I think he could hear some, but not very well at all. Anyway, that's beside the point. It was just a, it's kind of clandestine meeting that I had with this guy,
Yes.
and paid him his scratch, and he gave me this wonderful device. So, a word of not caution, but a word of how do you say in your language when you take your devices and sell online? Apple has put so many security protocols and everything. And this
Yes.
guy, I think it was his friend's watch, but they had done everything right. But I get home, I set it up and get everything going and it's working and I'm like, this is great. And then this message pops up. This Apple Watch is part of so and so's Apple ID. They
Yeah.
can see your location. Just FYI. And
Well,
so I snapped a picture of it and sent it to this guy, and he's like, "Oh," I said, "I think you have to go into settings. All your devices are listed. You have to remove it. Well, you have to go settings and go into your Apple ID, which is your picture, and then all your attached devices are listed and you have
mm,
to remove it from that." And so anyway, I think he did that, but it's like he logged out, he reset it, he did everything, but there was just one more thing he had to do, which is so infuriating with
yeah.
Apple's products, but we got it sorted out. But anyway, that's my pick. So I'm part of the Ultra Club for those of you
Yes.
who didn't
Go
even know what
Team
I was holding up.
Ultra.
Team Ultra and Team Focus and Out of Focus is what we're going to be.
Yes.
And hey, do we have the
Very
same
nice.
watch face? We do, don't we?
We do the new modular Ultra watch
I
face. Do
I
you
think
have the?
I have
Mine's
some
not waking
different
up to show the seconds. We have some different things
complications.
on there.
I turned my seconds off, but what it's kind of cool. I mean, there's a shortcut to
Yeah,
the
is this your
compass.
first always on, or was your last one always on screen
My
for your watch?
Apple Watch 5 was always on, which was also
Okay.
the problem because the battery would die after about 5 hours, and unless you turn the always on off. But this puppy, the always on, is going to last for a long time. So I already like the
Yes.
bigger screen because as I
Yeah.
age, it's getting harder for me to see things up close. And so the larger fonts and everything, uh, the icons, everything's
Brighter
bigger.
screen,
Yeah.
everything. Yeah, I forget that when people say, "Oh, why the Ultra?" And the bigger screen is a
hmm
big advantage on the Ultra.
That's
Uh,
my big thing. I'm to the point where my I can't get my arm far enough away to see it clearly. Like I can see my other watch way over there, great, but when it's this close, I can't see it well. So anyway, that's my
very
super
nice.
secret. We're in the same club, and I can
Yes.
guarantee you that I paid less than you did, even though I
Yes.
had to wait a year.
Yes, yes, indeed. Well, congratulations. I am glad you were able to find a deal on that and pick up the Apple Watch Ultra.
Hmm
I strongly enjoy mine, and after a year, my battery life still seems great on it. My pick of the week this week is an app, and it's from a company that we've talked about several times, and I believe, had some pick of the weeks. I don't know if you ever picked your, it's Blackmagic Design. You have
Did
your ATEM. I don't know if you made
yeah.
that a pick of the week because it's pretty nerdy. But I know that we've looked at them and they've got a lot of products. Well, they just released
Did we talk about this
Blackmagic
last week?
Blackmagic camera.
I think so. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
I know they talked about it on MacBreak Weekly. Maybe you're
Oh,
getting
okay.
our podcast and their podcast confused,
Well, maybe you and I
which would
talked
be
about it.
easy to do.
I talked about it
But
with somebody, but yes, this app is
okay,
amazing. Please go on.
yes. So Blackmagic camera, they make very nice cameras, but they've released an iOS app that is completely free, and it is a professional camera video recording app. Now, we've talked about some in the past, like Movie Pro or Filmic Pro. Well, Filmic Pro has gone to a subscription. Movie
And
Pro is
and
pretty
it's like
expensive.
$30 a year or something.
Yeah, at least it is not cheap. But Blackmagic has released this. Now, most people don't need this, but if you are serious about making video, it has all the different meters and different settings that you can set. You can do manual focus, a lot of the things that the Apple default app does not give you. And it is a really, I played around with it a little bit, but you can do all kinds of adjustments. You can set your audio source. Um, and the same as Movie Pro and Filmic Pro, but this is completely free. Now, Dave, I don't know if you'd agree with me on this, but if somebody was just getting into video, I think I would tell them to to go use Blackmagic products because they have their software, DaVinci Resolve, which
Mm-hmm.
is free. They have a higher end version that costs like $300, but DaVinci Resolve on Mac and on iPads,
And
which
on
is a
PC.
yeah, and on PC, they're doing really cutting edge stuff. They're staying, seems like from what I hear, further ahead than like Final Cut Pro. But you can, with the phone app, you can have it automatically sync to their cloud. So
Mm-hmm.
let's say you're making a commercial, you could be out shooting video, somebody back in the studio would sync to the cloud, they could start editing while you're still out in the field, or even somebody on an iPad sitting next to you could start editing video. I mean, it is. I am really impressed with what Blackmagic Design is doing. They've got a ton of great products, but DaVinci Resolve for movie editing on most of your devices, and then this new Blackmagic camera
Yeah.
on iOS. I go download it, it and play around with it if you like making videos and just kind of. I mean, I'm sure there's some good tutorials already on YouTube
Well,
and so
I was
forth.
talking to Eliot this past week and he was learning this and shot me a couple introductory videos. But yeah, it's a free tool, DaVinci Resolve is. And I'm learning it myself. I learn it probably will start using it instead of Final Cut Pro depending on how proficient I
Yeah,
become at it. But the I've always been a fan of Blackmagic, and dare I say, I think there might be people who are idiots who are not buying Blackmagic products and integrating them into their workflow instead of doing other products. But I rest my case. I've already
yes,
moved on from this.
yes,
Anyway,
and
I want to recommend to some company to do this, but they don't want to do it. But anyway, the cameras are relatively inexpensive, the physical cameras. The software is free, or you if you do the stuff. DaVinci Resolve is the leader in the industry for color correction. I know not everybody's into color
yeah,
correcting their video, but everybody uses their tool because it's the best. And now this phone app, which basically gives you all the comforts of their physical $2,000 cameras in your phone, which integrates with DaVinci Resolve, DaVinci Cloud, all these things. So it's like you can get the free software in your computer and now the free app on your phone. And it's almost like having a Blackmagic camera and a
yeah,
Blackmagic Studio all wrapped up in one. And what I really appreciate about their tools is that they're all integrated. So let's say from the switcher, you can go in and adjust the white balance, the focus or whatever on a remote camera because they plug in and they talk to each other, and it's just a great ecosystem, not unlike
Yeah.
what Apple does with all of their devices.
Yes, yes, indeed. And breaking news, producer Todd says, "Whoa, I'll have to check that camera out for the next Dr. RIP VHS video. That looks amazing." So we might have just convinced Todd, maybe in the first time in the show's history, to download another app on his phone.
What?
That is like,
It's going to
we
push him
are
over his 14 apps.
I know. Wrap the podcast. That's it. We can retire now if we convince Todd to download a new app. And I will say, go check out Dr. RIP VHS. He just released, he always uploads his VHS, but he does some of his own videos. And this last one, he's got some great production on it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Todd.
so, yes.
So Todd, you, me, and Elliot, and maybe Nate and Wes too. I don't know. Maybe we should all do a Learn DaVinci Resolve party or
Yeah.
something.
Yes.
We could all
Yes.
sign in the same account and then use our phones and upload video from all around the world to the same place. It'd be
Ooh,
amazing.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And Todd continues, "Oh, wow. This is a great feature. It shows you how much more time you can shoot before your camera roll is filled up. This
Mm-hmm.
looks great. I got an app. I mean, now I'll have to delete some other one, but still. Goodbye, Snapchat."
Good
Ah,
riddance, Snapchat, if I have anything to say about that.
yes, yes, indeed.
I got to alert
Well,
you
with
about a scam I've been getting. I've been texting, oh, so and so Snapchat followed you. Follow him back by following this link. And I'm like, this is not from Snapchat. It's just some
yeah,
text thing. But
so many
anyway,
scams out there.
scams.
Yes, we will need to do some video. And speaking of video, on our YouTube channel, we had a non-podcast video
Mm.
posted this week. We finally posted the hike, which we shot nearly a year ago. So if you have not gone to watch that, it was shot and edited by the amazing Wesley Rice. His video skills are,
Hmm.
I could only hope that someday I will have his video skills, but it is a very fun video. So you can check that out on our YouTube channel. All the, well, many past episodes of the podcast, including all the ones that we've done live. Make sure you like those videos, comment on the videos, subscribe. We'd love to continue growing our subscriber base on there, and get up to Dr. RIP VHS levels someday.
Man,
Um,
that would be
Shoot for the
actually be
stars.
something.
Yes, yes, it would. But with that, I think we should probably wrap up the episode. We have gone quite a while, but thank you so much for listening, watching, interacting, all of that, so we can all get out there and tech better.
See ya.